All right, greetings. Welcome back to the show, I guess. Um, I'm going to say that as we come out of the All Star break, there are some interesting numbers I thought we could take a look at. I discussed players, stats. Let's look at team stats because there's some interesting ones here that are surprising to me. The Islanders are second in goals for with 169. And keep that in mind because we're going to come back to the Islanders in a bit. Columbus is number 27 with 126 goals scored. That is just not going to get it done. The Islanders are 31st in goals against with 179. So again, they're scoring a lot of goals, they're allowing a lot of goals. This is as close to 80s hockey as you get in the NHL as any game that involves the New York Islanders. The Boston Bruins being number one in goals against surprises me. They have 114 goals against. I'm very surprised that the Bruins are rated number one right now. They're good, but number one, I don't know that they hold that all year, but it's kind of fun if they do, right? Vegas, number 5 in goals against, number 3 in goals for. I figured I'd throw them together. 126 goals against, 162 goals for. Those are incredible. When people talk about, well, Vegas, they're not going to be able to hold it through the playoffs. Maybe they won't make the playoffs. You're not looking at the goal differentials. You're not looking at how well they're playing at 5-on-5. Their special teams, they're middling on special teams. 5-on-5, they're killing it. They're absolutely killing it right now. Florida's shots for per game, they're number 3 in the NHL with 34.5. That surprises me. Columbus is number 7 with 33.6. Remember, I just talked about Columbus being number 27 in goals scored, which tells me they're shooting from everywhere and they're not taking the better shots. They're shooting from bad angles, they're shooting from the point, and their shots get through, but their shots either a goalie's able to see or easily able to save, or both. Washington's number 31 in the league at shots for per game with 29. That surprises me a lot. That a team with Alex Ovechkin, who can sneeze 10 shots a game, and you're the lowest in the league for shots per game. And number 1 at shots against per game is Carolina with 29.2. You want to talk about Scott Darling and how good goaltending would get you further up? They're not allowing shots. It feels like Winnipeg last year. Last year, Winnipeg was playing very well, but the results weren't there, and everybody kind of talked about how Winnipeg wasn't very good because the goaltending made it look worse than what it was. Defensively, Carolina's playing very well. And funny part is, Nashville is 22nd in shots against per game with 32.5. So Pekka Rinne is pretty much saving Nashville from a fall. And Carolina would be much higher up if their goalies would make some more saves. Pittsburgh has the number 1 power play at 27%. It is not a surprise that Pittsburgh's number 1, but that 27% and just how deadly that power play's been over the last few weeks, it's crazy. It's reminding me of the Mario Lemieux Penguins and the power play they had that just was so intimidating. Vancouver being number 6 in power play percentage at 22 is surprising. Vancouver, not an offensively gifted team. I think for goals for, they're at 25th in the NHL. I think goals against are 25th or 26th. The fact that they've got the number 6 power play is somewhat of a surprise. Columbus, I mentioned them before, their power play's up from where it was when it was 9%, but it's still at an anemic 13.7%. Bring up that power play. You guys won't have to worry about making the playoffs. It's not going to be a big deal. You won't have to worry about the fact that Metro's tough, because if they bring this power play up, and if they can get those goals scored, well, and again, I hear Yvonne's voice in my head where she's like, I think the team that scores more goals is going to win the game. She does that anytime they talk about keys to the game. It drives me nuts, but she's right. Score more goals and you win. Columbus is a good example of that. Just bail out Bobrovsky once in a while and you guys won't have a problem. Edmonton, having the number 30 ranked power play at 14.5% is a shocker. Look at the guys they can throw on the ice. Is this simply a matter of they don't have a defenseman they can throw on that point that can really load up and rocket one towards the net? Is that what's causing their power play to struggle? Because we're going to get into Edmonton again, and it's really snowballed into a problem that's costing them the season. Colorado's penalty kill at number 2, 83.8%. That is really impressive. Colorado's penalty kill, fantastic, and that will win you games. Toronto, penalty kill at 6th at 83.2%. Surprising considering some numbers I'll bring up of Toronto's in a minute here. But their penalty kill is really pretty good. Edmonton's penalty kill, 72.2%. So there's a number, and they use this for your power play penalty kill to measure out your special teams, and it's simple. Add the two numbers together. So, for instance, Vancouver here has a 77.7% on the penalty kill. They're 25th. They're 6th on the power play. So, the number for them adds up to 99.8%, meaning they're below 100%, which means their special teams are below that line. You should be above 100%, showing that your combined special teams are benefiting the team. In Vancouver's case, it's barely anything. But in Edmonton, you've got 14.5, 72.2. That comes out to 86.7% altogether. And 86.7%, that'd be a really decent penalty kill. But knowing that's the power play and penalty kill percentages put together, that's just sad. And that will destroy anybody's season. So you can play solid 5-on-5, but if your special teams are that bad, because Pittsburgh 5-on-5 hasn't been fantastic, they've been good, but their power play is lights out. Now let's get into shot differentials, because this is where, for me, it tells me that some teams, the effort's there and it's not showing the results. Edmonton's shot differential, they're taking 3.4 more shots for than they're allowing per game. Carolina's shooting 5 more shots per game than they're allowing. Has to be so frustrating watching Carolina games and watching them outshoot the opposition and still losing the game. Montreal is 2.1 above that line. So Montreal, again, you have to look at this, and their shooting percentage is really bad. And that's got to turn around, not just for Pacioretty. He's got to share the puck, and he's got to let other guys score goals too, because right now Montreal should be better than what they are. Toronto, that's a negative 2.5. They're allowing more shots than they score, or they're allowing more shots than they take, which means, yes, Freddie Anderson's absolutely saving their bacon. The Islanders are 3.5 below. So here's the thing. You've got two goalies in Thomas Greiss and Jaro Halak, who most of us can agree are probably needing to play better. But when your team is almost always getting outshot, the pressure on you as the goaltender is much greater. Goals against, goals for. This tells me, with the number 31 goals against, and the fact that they're allowing more shots than they score, a lot of these goals are from prime scoring opportunities. So we may see a situation with the Islanders where, even if / when they get a new goaltender or they try to fix the goaltending, there's still shots being taken from a prime location. So whoever comes in might look just as bad as Greiss or Halak. And that'll be interesting to see and track as we get closer to the end of the season. The Nashville Predators are allowing 2 more shots per game than they get, which is surprising because we always talk about how great Nashville's defense is. And how Nashville has this really deadly attack now, too, and their goaltending. Like, we talk about Nashville being this great Stanley Cup contender, and yet they're not taking as many shots as they get. So, is this a matter of, again, maybe those shots are perimeter shots, maybe they're not really close in, or does this just mean Pekka Rinne is that darn good? Anaheim, negative 3.5, but it's been getting better. I've paid attention to Anaheim's games for shots against, and it has come down since the team got healthy again. Getting Kessler and Getzlaf back down the middle means there's more pressure at the other end of the ice and less at their own. I expect this number to drop to the 2 range by the end of the year. They're not going to be able to even it up. They don't have enough time left, but it is getting better. Washington is a huge surprise to me that they only have 29 shots a game and they allow 32. So there's some playing with fire going on with Washington, but when you've got a guy who's on fire like Alex Ovechkin, you can probably handle it. Let me know what number surprises you the most with NHL stats right now. And again, you know, I'm just getting this information from the same place as you guys would, whether it's TSN, NHL, Sportsnet. I get my stats the same way anybody else does. Just let me know which team surprises you for the fact that maybe their stats look bad, but they're playing well, and maybe it's the other way around. Just let me know what you guys think. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. Last I checked, 6 subscribers from 28,000. 6. Measly 6. And 172 for the entertainment guy to reach 2,000. And that entertainment guy, I tell you, he's beaming because he was retweeted by the Deads, the band that he was very enamored with when he saw them live. Oh, that's me. So that was kind of cool that they retweeted me. That was really fun. And then I commented on it, and they liked that comment from me. So kind of on cloud 9 a little bit with that, because that's really pretty cool. and they're a band worth checking out. So there you go, a little bit of a plug in a hockey video. Who knew? Thank you guys for watching. You guys make it worth being in here, and I will be sure to talk to you guys again soon. Remember, I'm at a Canucks game tonight, so my reviews will probably be somewhat delayed. So I apologize for that in advance, but I'm going to have fun, and I'll talk to you guys again soon.